Unit 3, the Kings of Israel, the United Monarchy under Saul, David, and Solomon. So if we go back to our timeline that we left off at, we are now going to focus on this time period right here. So we went up to the cycle in the Judges. Samuel was our transition. And now we're going to look just briefly at this time of the Kings. We're going to do a full treatment of it in part 2 of the course. But I wanted to do a quick overview of this time because there are 3 kings of the United Kingdom who are significant. And they are, of course, Saul, who is the first king of Israel, followed by David, which is called a man after God's own heart in the text. And then we have David's son, the first, really and only heir. Well, not really, there's one more, but that's when it breaks. But the heir, which is Solomon, and he is, of course, the builder of the temple. So you can see that these are the 3 kings of the United Kingdom. And as if we kind of slide up the timeline here, we can see that how their lifespans a little bit interact and overlap, and some of the other key characters that come into play during this time. The prophet Nathan, of course, being a huge one, Jonathan as well, and Samuel, who we'll start looking at. And we also know that there's some really important events that happened during this time that are very famous, David and Goliath, for example, and all of that. So we'll look at all of these events together, but these are what constitute this time, the time of the kings. This is the next season that we're going to look at as we do our complete Bible overview. So that falls in there. And then, of course, after that, we have Solomon, who is the king. He's the heir of the throne from David. But then after Solomon, things go bad, and the kingdom splits. And it splits into 2 nations. We talked about them, and they are, of course, Israel and Judah. So in our next unit, in our unit 4, we're going to take a quick look at the kingdom splits into Israel and Judah and how that happened and why and what resulted from it. So join me if you would in unit 4.